Oh, yes. Yes.
Hey guys, welcome to Podcast First Play, episode 20. We've gone and done it. We've made the big 2-0.
The big two.
Oh, feels good. I love
Yeah.
it, Dan. How are you, Dan? You happy
I'm
to be here?
awesome. I'm so glad.
I feel really good that we've made it this far. I feel like we've pushed new boundaries in the world of podcasts.
I don't.
No, I would disagree with myself. I'd call
I think that argument would fail under pressure pretty quickly.
In order to make up for our hideous misunderstanding, would you like some news?
Yeah, go on, I'll have some bloody news.
Would you also like a $500 NES?
No.
Well, there's one available if you would.
Well, it's a perfect principle in the fact to say, like, instead of going out and spending, like, however much an NES these days, I know that retro is sort of coming back, so people are going out and buying them, so it's sort of bumping the price up a bit. So I'd say no more than sort of like 60, 70 quid maybe for an NES. But that technology and the actual console, the physical components of it, like 30, 40 years old now? Something like that? 80s? So yeah, 30 years old.
Yeah, give or take.
But now you can buy a new console with new components that won't break, obviously, quite as easily or as quickly, but you can still play all your old NES games on it. So the concept of it, I think, is brilliant, but that price tag is insane.
Well, you're essentially paying. I mean, what if the cartridges still break? I mean, we've all been there back in the day where you sit and blow the cartridges.
Absolutely, yeah. So, I mean, unless they're going to re-release the entire NES library on new cartridges, what would be the point? Because then you're basically just digging something up, polishing it off a little bit, and then parading it around like it's a brand new thing.
But the thing is, though, when it originally came out, the NES in America it was $199.99, and it came with 2 games, and you could buy a deluxe bundle as well, which is a little bit more. But say $200, so that's what, £180 here.
No, there'd be a bit less, about 160, 170.
There you go. There's my great maths there. My conversion rate. But this is $500, so for an extra $300 and 40 years late, you get a HDMI adapter.
Oh, hooray!
What did bastard do?
Yeah. And that's not an improvement on anything. The games will still look 30 years old.
I don't know if you've ever if you've hooked up an old, anything circa probably PS2, anything before that, and you plug it into a HD TV, it looks fucking awful. It looks like worse than it did.
I mean, the TVs aren't made for it.
No, they're not, and that's where obviously this comes in. It's not HD at all, but everything is...
it's just clearer play. And
it looks as good as it did when you originally played Super Mario.
Yeah, like a CRT.
Yeah.
Which, again, I mean, it sort of appeals to the retro gamer, but that means that it's just going to hike the price up for NES cartridges.
Well, yeah, and they're already pretty steep, to be fair.
I mean, most of them you get are obviously like second hands, or you get from car boot sales, from people just clearing out attics and stuff like that, and you get it for like 50p if you go to the right place and get a good bargain. But you go to a shop to buy an NES game, you're still looking at least sort of 10, 15 quid for it.
Well, when they came out, they were like £60 because cartridges are so much more. They cost so much more to produce. That's where the N64 failed. They were told to go with the CD format, and they didn't listen. And that's why Pokemon Stadium was like £65. But
unless you got it with the N64, which is what I did. I had a special edition Pokemon Stadium Pokemon N64 with a Pikachu controller, which is awesome.
See, I got the launch. Well, I actually didn't get the launch. I got it a couple of months after it came out. But I got the Super Mario 64 bundle. And fuck paying more? Well, not me, but...
I didn't pay for it.
I wasn't being bought another N64 to get Pokemon Stadium for free when it would have been cheaper to just buy Pokemon Stadium. And that's what I thought, actually. The main thing for this is, obviously, it looks alright, I suppose.
It does look good. Yeah, I mean, they've just taken the old classic design and just given it a bit of a polish. So yeah, I can't argue with how it looks at all.
But you're essentially just getting an NES. It does play Famicom cartridges as well, which is the American, the Japanese.
The Japanese one. Yeah.
Sorry. And I think the cartridges are a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. I don't know. That's probably why it's got 2 slots.
It's something to do with because the American top loader could play them, but like the standard sized NES wouldn't. I think that's how it works, something like that. Like the top loader one, where you put the cartridge in directly in the top instead of going through the flap. It could play both. I think that's how it works.
Oh, that makes sense, I suppose. But
they're basically just taken the old design and just made it compatible. Yeah, so it's fine.
Well, I can see yet another console that's going to outsell the Xbox One. As it's got thousands of games already.
Well, yeah, I mean, the fact that it's already got a pre-established library, that's fine, but sell it for 200. Then people will go, yeah.
200. Not 200.
For a brand new version,
guarantee.
Yeah, so 150, 160 quid for something that's just, and you can go out and get an entire box full of games, like classic games that you know, nostalgia value, for a couple of quid. That's fair enough to me, because that means I don't have to go and buy a piece of shit console that won't work in 2 years' time.
But I guarantee, if you buy this, right, and you hook it up to your nice TV, and you enjoy the games you bought, blah blah blah, I guarantee I could go and buy a CRTV, an actual NES console, and a couple of games for cheaper.
Probably.
I guarantee it.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, it wouldn't go very nice on your whole display bookcase thing, would it? The gigantic TV hanging off it.
Well, no, I'd have it in a different room.
Bollocks. I had a 32-inch, widescreen TV thing, right? And the back of it was as wide as the screen.
Yeah.
Like, outwards. It was enormous, right? I mean, to the point of, like, the first place I lived in was, like, this, like, little shoebox place. It was hanging off the sort of work surface that it was perched on. To the point where I thought, if I, nudge this or something, it's just going to fall off and smash, and I'm never going to play Guitar Hero again, and I'll have to hang myself.
It wasn't that bothered if the TV broke. It was, I'm never going to Guitar Hero again.
Honestly, it got me through that piece of shit, the house that did. So yeah, I mean, I can see the appeal of it. I think it's a good novelty item, but not worth more than next-gen consoles that are out at the moment. It just doesn't make sense.
Personally, the people who this is going to appeal to have already got a very, very vast collection of NES games and a working NES console.
Yeah, or maybe they've purchased a few. That they just stop working after a while.
Yeah, but a lot of collectors don't even play them; they just them.
I know, but I can't stand that sort of stuff. If you're gonna collect something, it's fine, but unless it's like a practical, if it's art, fair enough. Lock it away, never look at it. But if it's like something useful or practical or something you can actually use, like toys and stuff like that, I don't get collecting toys. It's like you buy a toy, you want to play with it.
I can't really.
I know you can't weigh in on this at all because your bloody collections are insane. But for me, I just don't see the appeal to it. There's no way I'd buy a console to never play it. It's like buying a brand new car or like a vintage car, never driving it, just stick it in the garage and leave it. It's just sort of you define the point of why it's good, why people want it.
I think there is a quite a definitive line with consoles and stuff. I completely agree. If you're going to buy a console, you're going to buy hundreds and thousands of games, and you need to play them. That's what they're designed for. Toys. Now I'm older. I will happily keep a toy in its box. It's harder because obviously my son wants everything. But
I mean, you're buying them now though. You're not buying them. Yeah, that's what I mean. So just go, no, I'm just going to keep this in the box.
Yeah.
Because in 20 years' time.
Oh, it's like same with comics. Like all my comics, and my dad would say, like, you want to keep that in the wallet. It'll be worth some money. I'm like, fuck you, I want to read it.
Yeah. Take care of it. I mean, if you want to sell it on a late stage, It's up to you. But, you know, if you take care of it and keep it in those nice little wallets and stuff and don't let dickheads come round with greasy fingers,
well, I mean,
then...
All my comics are in, except my hardbacks, all my comics are in wallets. But they've all been read. I've got the very first appearance of Spider-Man, and it's worth, I think the last one was sold for like $200,000 or something. But mine is a reprint, so it's worth like 20 quid. But but it's just, I just thought it was quite, as I bidded for it, I got it on the cheap. But if that was the actual mint condition first edition, then would I foot read it? And I'd say,
but the sort of the hardcore collectors, the ones who really know what they're doing, they'll buy two.
Yeah.
They'll have one to use, one to read through, and then they'll have one which will never see the light of day.
Yeah. And that's how
I can even understand that if you got the money for it, fill your boots. But yeah, for consoles, I mean, if you buy a Mega Drive now, you're going to play it. You're going to play Road Rash. You're going to play Golden Axe, all that sort of stuff, because that's the point of it.
You can go into like, well, I don't know if you can. I'm pretty sure it's closed down, but you can go to HMV.
Good luck with that.
They had these when it was open. Then they had these handheld Mega Drives. You could play, but you could also plug it into the TV and play it on the TV as well. And they were like 25 quid, and it had like, I don't know, like 30 games pre-installed on it.
Bargain.
It's like, I'd buy that over a $500.
Definitely, yeah. But, you know, they'll make it, people will buy it, they'll keep on doing it.
I also bought
more power to them.
So what do I know?
Yeah,
I love my Vita. Anyway, I hear you like Halo, Dan.
No.
Oh.
Well.
No, I know. I just had nothing to link into the next news bit.
Oh.
The eagerly
That's like silk, that.
I know, yeah, it's so smooth. The eagerly anticipated Microsoft live-action Halo TV series. Do you remember that, Dan? When they demoed...
Yeah, anyway, Gotham. That looks more interesting.
Why'd you ruin every link? That was literally the next thing I was going to say.
Oh, right.
Basically, the big fucking Halo live-action TV series that was demoed when they unveiled the Xbox One. Look at all the non-game shit that it can do. We've got a Halo TV series. Fucking brilliant. Now, according to a report from Variety, the live-action Halo TV series will actually debut first on Showtime, not Xbox One.
So you'll still be able to watch it on your TV license through your Xbone.
Yeah. And then it will launch on the Xbone, which you through your TV.
Yeah, they should have just left it at Forward and to Dawn. It was a good enough web series. That's how it should have stayed. Web series are fine. Like the Mortal Kombat thing, that needs a TV show.
That needs a film.
Mortal Kombat Legacy was brilliantly done. Just short little episodes, punchy, interesting, good character development. That's all it needs to be.
It got much better as it went along. The first few, especially Series 1, the first few were so cheesy. It was unbelievable. But it held in, and it held its own. However, as Dan has already ruined, the new trailer for the DC series, Gotham, which will be launching on Fox, I think this year. I'm not 100% sure.
In America, yeah.
Yeah, so probably next year for us bastards. But, it basically follows young Ryan from the OC. I mean, Commissioner Gordon. Benjamin McKenzie is playing young Commissioner Gordon, set in Gotham City a long time before Batman. There is a young Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle, Penguin, Riddler, and Poison Ivy, and I imagine a whole host of other evil bastards. But it's all focused on Gordon, how he plans to clean up Gotham before the Cape Crusader pops his little head into it. I think it looks alright though. I do think
it looks alright.
I think it's going to be better than S.H.I.E.L.D. Now I know you like S.H.I.E.L.D., but
S.H.I.E.L.D.'s alright, but only as a filler, a very, very loose filler. between sort of
like Polly.
superhero films. No, that's too good.
Yeah,
it's just like that's like Wilkinson's own like. It's sort of like a no frills filler. That's what it is.
No frills. Oh.
Remember them? Yeah.
Oh, the ready sorted. So nice.
Black and white packets. Yeah.
It wasn't even black and white. It was just crisps stuck together.
It was like for anyone who doesn't remember, it's like the Dharma Project food supplies in Lost. That everything's just called like marshmallows, chocolate. It's just all sort of like unbranded. There's nothing special about it. It's a Ron Seal. That's what it is. It's exactly what it says on the tin.
They hadn't got a no frills version of Ron Seal. Unless it was just like honey or something.
Yeah. So that's all that was. But I mean, DC's already got Arrow though. I don't get it because like Arrow's doing incredibly well, and it's a really good show.
I'm not 100% sure on the ins and outs because obviously Warner Brothers is Arrow, and I don't know if Warner Brothers has done Gotham.
I didn't see the name, but I also wasn't looking particularly, so.
No, I just wanted to have a look what it was like, to be honest. I didn't even think.
Yeah.
Probably should have researched this a little bit more.
It's still only early sort of trailers and stuff like that anyway, so.
As I've said, I mean, I actually brought this up on quite an old podcast, to be honest, about the rumour that this was happening. And I said it then and I'll say it now. I still find it weird that Batman is Commissioner Gordon.
What?
That's exactly what you said last time.
You've lost me there.
In the animated film, Year One,
right?
Year One, Ben McKenzie voices Batman.
Oh, right, okay.
And now he's Commissioner Gordon.
Right, yeah, he's playing. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's like we went back in time.
Sorry, my memory's awful.
But that's about it, really. However, on personal news, I have single-handedly upped Nintendo's sales by 30,000%.
How on earth have you managed to do that?
Well, I haven't. That's quite an exaggeration. But I have talked 2 people into buying a Wii U.
Hooray!
Yes! Success! And I've also helped Sony sell another Vita, so it's only going up, Dan.
I assume the certificate will come through the post for you. You can hang it on your wall proudly. Callum Povey, Sony Sales Rep of the Year.
Well, 1
Vita sold. That's more than they pulled off.
1 Vita, 2 Wii U's. I think I converted someone from an Xbox to a PS4. Not converted them into a PS4.
that's Jesus level miracle. That actually provides me with a silky smooth link straight into Spider-Man.
Yes!
Amazing Spider-Man 2. I had a bit of a blowout this weekend and did a whole catch-up with basically all the current superhero films that are out, as well as Thor: The Dark World, which is out on DVD, I believe. Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Out now in the cinemas if you haven't been to see it.
Yeah.
I know you have.
Yeah.
I meant the viewers. The listeners. They can't see us.
Yeah. I don't quite know how to word it just yet. It's basically, the way I can think of it is, it's a film and a quarter. So, the film is, Shocker, I keep calling him Shocker, Electro. And Spider-Man. The whole build-up for that, and their sort of big fight and blowout, and all of that is excellent. And then there's a quarter of a film, which is Harry Osborn as the Green Goblin, and Rhino, who's in the last, 3 minutes of the film. So, remember what I said when we did kind of like a podcast, it was a while ago, about sort of Spider-Man 2, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, just saying that was too many bad guys to have in one film. The screen time just wouldn't make any sense, right? Well, they managed to solve that in the worst way possible by basically having Rhino at the end of the film just about to start fighting with Spider-Man, and then it ends.
Yep.
So, number 3 is obviously going to be a direct pickup from that.
Right, it's Sinister Six, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So I think that should have been like the end of credits teaser for Spider-Man.
Yeah, don't actually have it on the film. Have it at the end of the
exactly. That would be a good tease, because then you're like, holy shit, there's the rest of the suits and all that sort of stuff. Instead, what you get as an end of credits teaser is a trailer for Days of Future Past, which is out in about 3 weeks.
Yes. Speaking of which, certain cinemas, my friend told me today, yesterday, sorry, certain cinemas are doing a kind of, I don't know how to word it, but do you remember when Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings, they did like all the films in one big fat go?
Yeah, and then they sort of break it up and release them at different times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go in certain cinemas, you can go and see Days of Future Past, but before that you can watch X-Men First Class, and then you have a little interval, and then you go back and you watch Days of Future Past, and it only costs £10.
Bloody hell, that's not bad.
That's not bad at all. I'm not going myself.
I'll have to have a look into that.
Yeah,
because I'm super excited, and obviously that the end credit scene is obviously unseen footage that it hasn't been any trailers and stuff, and it does nothing but reiterate how good it looks, and it still looks like an amazing film, but it's still a Marvel film at the end of the day, and no end of credits teaser is kind of a kick in the balls. You're just sort of like, oh, okay. I mean, there is another sort of like pre-one, like they've got them separated out into two.
Yeah.
Like the first one is actually I assume, for the next one, but then the last one is this sort of X-Men trailer, which is a bit of a shit, really, especially if you have to sit through the whole credits just to watch a trailer for another film. So yeah, that was that one. Then I watched Captain America 2: The Winter Soldier. Brilliant film, absolutely brilliant. So much better than the first one.
I was gonna say, you didn't really like the first one either.
Not particularly, no.
See, I quite enjoyed the first one.
It was good, but I don't know. It's just sort of, it was a bit kind of wishy-washy. I can't quite explain it.
What,
but
Aladdin?
It didn't quite grab me as an interesting film. Like Iron Man, like the first Iron Man was a brilliant film, and you got engaged and you liked the character. With that, you just sort of like, you was like, oh yeah, now he's big, and But this one, it was so. That's all I felt from it.
That's the worst wrap-up of Captain America. He's big. Now he's big. He used to be small, now he's big.
He was a little guy, now he's a big guy. Brilliant. But it's not as entertaining as the Hulk. Yeah. But,
completely different characters.
He went from little to big. Just basically the same thing. Special drugs is all bloody science.
Bruce Banner was bigger than...
Have you seen...
a child.
Have you seen him without his shirt on, man? He's ripped. He's a big guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bruce Banner is bigger than Captain America, like Steve Rogers.
What, the little guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, in proportion though. If you shrink down
America.
Oh right. Okay. Well, that still works though. Like Bruce Banner to the Hulk. If you just sort of scaled Hulk down a little bit, that kind of works. It works, trust me. But anyway. Yeah, Captain America 2, excellent film. Definitely recommend people go and see that. Again, like I wasn't particularly a big fan of this one, but because I was in a sort of a Marvel-y mood, I went and saw it at the same time, and it genuinely surprised me as to how good it was. There was even a little. I don't know if it's just one of those sort of like Marvel nods to say, there's other people about. Don't worry about them. There was actually a mention of Stephen Strange, as in Doctor Strange.
Yes.
So, possibly, maybe, possibly, something may come of that. I doubt it, because he's a very sort of unheard of, especially in the mainstream, people who go and see these sort of films. Well, they won't have any idea as to who he is.
But, pre-Captain America, other than people that actually, like, into comics and stuff, do you think people would have known who Red Skull was?
That's a good point. That is a good point. So it is these films taking a gamble as to whether to say, will people even care enough if they don't know who they are? But I mean, it was just a name drop. That's all it was. So I don't think anything will come of it. But I'd like to see more progression of kind along the. You know, they've done a lot of the big sort of hitters now, and I would like to see them sort of go into the more sort of like unknown, kind of like the Guardians of the Galaxy thing. No one knew who they were until the trailer came out, and they were like, "Oh my god, this looks brilliant." So hopefully they keep making these sort of like little pokes towards things, and you know they do sort of develop them into maybe not even like a full film, but just like a side character or something like that. I'd like to see that, especially with Doctor Strange. It's cool as well. I mean it's more sort of DC. I'd say most of the time it's this more sort of like magic orientated, but he's this kind of like this genuine magic guy, and he's just cool. I like him, especially the Phantom.
He's an interesting character.
Yeah. So I would like to see him, but I don't think it would progress any more than just a name drop at the moment. But then I watched Thor 2, Dark World. Not as good a film as Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, I thought you said not as good as the first one, and I was about to kick you in the tits.
No. It is, but on the same level though, it is so much better than the first one. It's a brilliant film. In the way that I didn't like the first one because it was just too love story, and it was just a big robot.
It was
brilliant.
The opening for the first Thor film was really good. That's the first scene.
Yeah.
And then it just goes downhill.
It does. But in this one, that doesn't play into it. So it's plus Christopher Eccleston is it as Malekith, and he does a brilliant job. But it's set in London for the most part, so it's quite nice to see some sort of like London places get blown up. Especially living in Manchester, we all hate bloody stuff.
Does he put on like a Cockney accent at any point?
No, he's got a Union Jack flag on though, on his his cape. It's a big Union Jack.
Fucking mate.
no, he doesn't. Oh. But it's really well shot though. Excellent.
After the massive disappointment of the first one, I sent my friend Dave to go and see it when it came out. I didn't send him.
To the cinemas now.
Basically, all his job. I mean, he is into comics and Marvel and DC films and stuff. And basically just said to him, if it's good, then I'll go and see it. If it's not, then I won't. And he literally come back and went, nah. So I just said, fuck it. I'm not wasting my time. It's on Sky. It's on Sky at the moment though, so I might watch it if I get bored. If I get bored of watching Breaking Bad because I've nearly finished it, then I might have to watch it. But
yeah. Other than that though, I watched Captain Phillips with Tom Hanks. People have been raving about that for ages, and then my housemate he just sort of went, people have been going on about this, do you want to watch it? And I went, yeah, right. One of the best films I've ever watched. Absolutely brilliant, intense film. Absolutely amazing. Would definitely recommend anyone to go out and watch that. Excellent film.
At any point does Tom Hanks put on a Cockney accent?
He does not.
Oh, then fuck it.
But there's drama. There's boats.
Boats.
There's more than one boat. Extra bonus boats. Bonus boats.
That's not a sell for a film. They don't see like a poster.
If you like boats, it is.
Coming this summer. Boats.
Wasn't that just the premise of Battleships? It's just coming with Rihanna. It's Rihanna on a boat with aliens.
And it drowns. Yes. Anyway, speaking of superhero films, guess what news we have, Dan?
Batman vs. Batman. Superman. Yeah. What a surprise. The always golden ticket for news of some incredible farce that has happened with the new Batman vs Superman film, as it's now called instead of Man of Steel 2. They just sort of gave up on that.
Well, they actually during a Q&A, it was actually slipped that they it was on Twitter. I can't remember who it was now, but one of the main people involved with making the film actually referred to it as Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, so it's not even like Project Man of Steel 2 or something like that. It's just they went, fuck it, everyone knows what it's going to be about. But they might, how long before they go, right, it's not Man of Steel 2 anymore, It's not going to be Batman versus Superman anymore. Now it's Justice League 1.
That's what it is, because, I mean, this is brand new news. This news came out last week, but we hadn't done a podcast. But Cyborg is in it now. So
you see what I mean? It's not even funny anymore. It's not even funny. What's the point? Why Cyborg? Why on earth would they put Cyborg in there?
Especially considering Cyborg is more linked to the Teen Titans than the Avengers, than the Justice League.
True, but the actual build-up, assuming that he's not already just Cyborg in it, if there's going to be a backstory to it, that's a film in itself.
Yeah.
Cyborg's got an excellent backstory. You can't just go, oh, we just had an accident in a robot machine, and now all of a sudden...
I do think Cyborg will be... I don't think it'll be for the whole... I think it'll just like the end, kind of like Rhino. I mean, I said when we spoke about this last week, I think there's going to be some accident, something's going to happen at Star Labs, and the very last scene or the mid-credits teaser is going to be like Cyborg waking up as Cyborg.
Yeah, do you see though that doesn't work as a teaser for me. I don't think that, I don't see that and think that's acceptable. I feel cheapened by that. I watch those 3 minutes and go, oh my god, after all this, now Rhino's going to fuck me, and then it goes bang, end. I'm just like, why? I don't feel teased from it. I just feel robbed.
The thing is, though, they shouldn't have shown it if that's because it was basically a tease. Whether it was at the very end of the film, whether it was through the trailer, through the credits, or at the end of the credits, it was still a teaser because nothing happened. They should not have shown him in the trailer.
But the thing is, though, there's no point. At no point in that film was it explained as to how the hell that even happened.
Mm.
The guy who plays... I can't remember what the actual guy who Rhino is. I can't remember what his actual name is. It's some Russian chap.
No, he's not Russian.
No, in this he's got this Russian name.
Oh, right.
But basically he's at the start of the film and he's in a robbery or whatever. Spider-Man catches him, as Spider-Man does. And then at the end of the film, he's released from prison and he's in this giant Rhino outfit. And there's no explanation as to A, how he got out of prison, B, what the suit was even doing in the first place. The Goblin suit was kind of explained away to say, oh, it's like this military prototype suit, blah, blah, blah. And he can sort of go, yeah, we'll just wash over that. But there's no explanation as to how the Rhino suit even existed in the first place.
This is an interesting thing that you said when we was talking about when we were flicking through the TV channels and the first Spider-Man film was on, and you brought up a good point where all these people at Oscorp have seen the Goblin suit, have seen the glider, seen all this shit, and then
no one went, wait a minute, I built that.
Norman Osborn's gone missing, and so is the glider and the suit that we built, but no one puts two and two together.
Do you know what? The only film that I've seen, comic book wise anyway, the only comic book film I've seen that explains away why no one else knows what's going on is Watchmen.
That's
that I can think off the top of my head. No, but there was a science team there that helped him build these energy bomb things. They didn't know it was bombs, obviously.
No.
But there was this special team of these really smart scientists, and he kills them. He poisons them and kills them, so no one else knows. And then only him, and then the Watchmen know. And then obviously Dr. Manhattan goes, oh yeah, it's probably for the best. Kills Rorschach so he doesn't tell anyone. And that's it. No one knows, which means no one can explain it away. But in all these other ones, they're just how does no one just tweet just saying, I just saw that guy on that Goblin thing. I'm fairly sure I drew up the designs for that. That's a little bit weird. Maybe look into it at Oscorp.
Same as, to a lesser degree, Kick-Ass. He orders the latex suit online and orders
it's
weapons.
That's exactly
online.
How it looked.
And then it wasn't by Batman, where they're on about ordering the parts and stuff. And then Alfred's like, well, we'll order it from we'll order bits and pieces from different suppliers, so as not to cause suspicion. The Kick-Ass just buys it, and then
there's
just
the
this
police
one
are actually looking for
hero.
it. So right, We know roughly whereabouts he is, where he's operating. How many of these exact outfits have been ordered here? 20. Right, interview all 20 of them.
Exactly.
It's not rocket science, is it?
The likelihood of somebody buying the same suit is really unlikely.
Well, it's just like it was a diving suit, wasn't it? It's like a wetsuit or something like that.
It was.
But it's still this again, this sort of niggly thing that I've got in my head with this sort of like real life thing where people just don't really do that. Where something in a, like you say, like in the building, like the Oscott building, it's huge, thousands of people that work there. No one clocks it. No one. And also another thing that's just popped into my head that I remind me from that thing, like Harry Osborn in this, has just got this weird disease that turns him into the Goblin. No explanation for that. Then he injects himself with this spider venom that turns him into the Goblin for whatever reason. And then when he's there on the glider, no explanation as to how he knows how to use any of this stuff, by the way. He's got pumpkin bombs. Never even shown before.
It's because it's based on Ultimate Spider-Man. Like the Goblin in Ultimate Spider-Man is he has got it is actually Norman, not Harry, but he gets it is basically like a toxin, and it actually physically turns him into a big hulking goblin, like a probably on par with Venom. This is.
But the thing is, though, if you know that, I mean, I didn't, fair enough, but if you know that, that would make sense. If you didn't know that, none of it made sense.
I don't. They should have left Goblin out of it, full stop. Goblin's been done.
And well, I don't think you can beat Willem Dafoe. He's crazy eyes.
It's just that bit when he jumps out after he's just become thingy Goblin, and then he jumps out and he's just no.
No, that sold it for me. I was just like, oh yeah, that'll do.
Awful.
But I will say one good thing about it is the way that Gwen Stacy dies. I won't spoil it. It's excellent.
It's not
absolutely excellent.
That means Emma Stone's gone.
Well, that's a given.
I still think they should just dye her hair red.
and put a moustache on her. I'm Mary Jane.
No, I've thought this through though, right? They have someone play Mary Jane, right? And this is basically assuming people know how Gwen Stacy dies. I'm not going to spoil it, but you'll figure out what I mean. For the next one, they have someone play Mary Jane, and you see her and stuff. But where every time Peter sees her, he just sees Gwen with red hair because he's guilty.
Yeah, that kind of work.
And Emma Stone still gets some money, and we get to see Emma Stone some more. And then eventually, it just fades out the other one, and we just keep...
And then eventually, she just marries you.
Well, no, I won't go that far. We're both busy. I've already got a son.
That's a good point, yeah.
You know, I don't want to burden her with that. Anyway, we digress. Man of Steel 2, Batman vs Superman / Teen Titans / Justice League. Yeah. But according to Justin Kroll from Variety, an additional character is still yet to be unveiled.
Right, do you want to put money on that?
I am going to say... So I want to say Lobo, but there's no way it's going to be Lobo.
No way! Absolutely no way.
I honestly think it's going to be The Rock.
The Rock?
As Lobo.
Oh, right, I thought you meant just The Rock. He just starts doing the fucking elbow drop on Lex Luthor.
You smell that?
No, I don't think Lobo's just way too out of there.
No, he is. But after the Martian Manhunter rumours were shot down, I can't think of anyone else The Rock can play other than Lobo. And I actually think he might make a good Lobo. Not Lobo. Not like how I see Hugh Jackman is Wolverine.
Yeah, that's the thing. It would just be The Rock as another character.
Yeah,
he'd still be wearing fucking nappies and the tooth fairy and all that sort of stuff. That'd still be him just wearing Lobo's makeup.
Wasn't that? Oh no, yeah. Sorry, I was thinking of Vin Diesel.
Oh, the pacifier. No.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't place it. I mean, assuming it would be a Justice League character, the only other person that you could think of that would be easily to sort of, excuse the pun, wash away would be Aquaman. He would just be there and just like, oh hi, I'm Arthur, and then that would be it. You know,
if it's New 52 Aquaman, that'd be amazing.
Explain.
Well, New 52 Aquaman is just fucking kick ass. There's I can't remember the arc, but he basically batters Superman, and that is in keep. Other than obviously everyone makes jokes on Aquaman because of the stupid campy TV show from the 70s, but he has actually got superhuman strength on par, not on par with Superman, but he's stupidly strong. And he's got all the fucking water abilities and whatnot. But he's also got, and this is actually kind of true sciencey wise, in our brains we have a little bit that from when we evolved from fish.
The genetics.
We've still retained that part in our brain. Doesn't do anything, it's just there. But Aquaman can access that part and make you have a seizure.
Well, that's good.
But New 52's Aquaman is basically, DC have sat there and gone, well, everyone rips the shit out of Aquaman, so we're going to have to
let's make him good.
Fucking ass to fuck. And they haven't necessarily, they have added a few powers that he weren't really mentioned before, but a lot of the powers are what he did originally have, but everyone just kind of forgets and just makes fun out of him. But if they do like New 52 Aquaman, and there is actually there's quite a cool comic somebody made, and it's someone's like they're all taking the piss out of Aquaman, like Superman, Batman, and all the Justice League, and then he's like, oh, I'll show you, and then he fucks off, and then he basically floods the world. And it's like everyone obviously dies and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good way of doing it. Yeah.
But I don't think it'll be Aquaman. I'll tell you who I don't think it'll be. I don't think it'll be Aquaman. I don't think it'll be Green Arrow, and I don't think it'll be Flash.
No, it won't be Flash. What? Flash?
The Flash. Not good.
Well, Flash was... Oh, right. No, I thought Flash was already in it. You sent me a picture the other day of Flash with the...
That's the TV show. That's a spin-off of Arrow.
Oh, fuck me. Oh. I'm losing track of all this now. He's just getting beyond the joke.
Apparently the Flash is meant to be in it, but I don't think he will.
Right. Well, in that case, if he's not, then Martian Manhunter probably not, because again, that'll take too much explaining. Probably Robin, maybe Nightwing.
It's more Teen Titans.
Well, assuming this is an established Batman character, he's been doing it for years, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, there's bound to be a Robin. There, to a degree.
Assuming, of course, this is a Justice League character, not just another villain.
Yes, it could be.
Because, I mean, you know, you
still
could
don't actually know who the villain is yet.
Well, Lex, I assume.
No, there's got to be an actual formidable foe. Lex Luthor can't be the main villain.
Yeah, it's a good point, I suppose. I mean, if you've got that
would you need
fucking
Batman,
catastrophe of the cast already.
Superman, Wonder Woman, and Cyborg to take on Lex Luthor. Because he's not going to have his fucking suit or nothing.
Well, you don't know. He wasn't put into the first one at all. You don't know whereabouts he is. The same with Batman. You don't know if he's just starting up, if he's 6-7 years into it.
Well, I'm assuming he's going to be old, not old, but because they obviously haven't gone
veteran.
They haven't gone the actual original story way because he's in his late 60s.
Oh yeah, he's in his 60s. Yeah.
But the fact that they've gone with Affleck, I'm going to assume he's at least been doing it for a fair few years. But that does lead the point. Where was he through the events of Man of Steel?
Well, true, but that did all happen fairly quickly. That was on a day. Yeah,
they kind of just went, oh shit, we've only got 20 minutes of the film left.
Let's just blow up Metropolis.
Let's have a fight scene.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really do the Joker because the Joker was done so well.
It's not going to be the Joker.
No, but
I don't think
Bane again, same story.
I don't think it'll be a Batman villain.
Well, then the only other thing really that would need that much team up would be someone like Doomsday.
See, Doomsday
was Ra's al Ghul. Someone again invincible.
Doomsday is quite high on my list.
But that would, again, if you got Doomsday, what would be the point of having Lex Luthor there?
Exactly. Unless Lex is... No. So it gets too complicated, and the more people they add, the less time they're going to have to explain what the fuck's going on.
Yeah. See, the only thing that's been introduced as a bad guy that hasn't been explored yet is at the end of Green Lantern. Sinestro puts on the fear ring.
I never even got to the end of Green Lantern.
Right, well, the teaser at the end of Green Lantern is Sinestro gets the Ring of Fear, puts it on, and becomes, obviously, the yellow Sinestro. Which could mean maybe, a yellow Sinestro or
Sinestro
a Sinestro
Corps.
or something like that. Which I prefer to the Green Lantern Corps anyway, they look cool. But
they're not going to make another Green Lantern film.
No, but the thing is, though, if Sinestro was in this, you'd have to have Green Lantern in it. They're the playoff. You've got to have one, you've got to have the other. So I genuinely don't know.
The problem I've already seen, I've kind of just said it there, but like with the Avengers, you knew everything that would happen with Hulk, with Iron Man, with Captain America, with Thor, even Nick Fury and Black Widow, and all they had to explain was why they had to
get together.
That's all they had to explain. This, they've got to explain why Batman's there. Why the fuck Wonder Woman's turned up, why Cyborg's fucking turned up, why Lex has decided to be a bastard, who, if they have another character, why that character's come in. And you're talking 7 hours. And it's probably only going to be 2 at the most.
They're not going to compete with the Avengers. They can't.
We say this, it might turn out to be fucking amazing. And like we've said before...
The thing is, though, it can't. I just don't see how it can be. Because there will be so many unanswered questions. Unless the only way that they could do it, and it would be a good film, is if they did absolutely no backstory and introduction. Everyone was Wonder Woman, and not everyone was Wonder Woman, but everyone was already established. So Wonder Woman was already Wonder Woman, she was already there. Batman, already Batman, and he was already there doing his stuff. Cyborg was already Cyborg. They were already kind of part of Justice League, they all knew of each other, and then all of a sudden, film starts and they start interacting. But there would be absolutely no backstory for it. If they did that, and just sort of go, fuck it, we don't need the other films, everyone already knows who they are.
I'm going to have to stop you right there, I've just thought. The Rock, Black Adam.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. But if you've got Black Adam, wouldn't you also need Shazam? Again, explaining it.
Yeah, that's very true.
But I like the thought of Black Adam being in it.
He looks quite like
bollocks. Deathstroke, just put Deathstroke in. Fuck it.
Darkseid.
Yeah. Ares.
Deathstroke won't be in it.
Deathstroke's too cool. He's got Arrow now.
That's what I mean. It's too tied into Arrow. Which is, I mean, they are actual enemies. But also, if they do bring Deathstroke into the film, that could lead off to a Teen Titans film, because obviously Deathstroke is the main protagonist for the Teen Titans.
Yep.
So you might see Nightwing.
It could just be, to be fair though, with how crazy everything's getting with it, they might just go, it's the Penguin. And people go, alright.
See, it wouldn't surprise me if they did do it like how, I think it was quite clever and something I hadn't actually thought about till you mentioned it on one of the earlier podcasts. But who's to say that Wonder Woman will be Wonder Woman? She might just appear.
She'd just be, I'm Diana, I just work with the government.
Yeah, and then it's like obviously she's there and she is Wonder Woman, but she's kind of keeping low profile, maybe just observing Superman or something. And Cyborg again, like I say, he could just become Cyborg at the end. I haven't got.
I've got it. Bizarro.
Possibly.
Lex Luthor makes Bizarro. Bang.
Yeah. It's possible.
Justice League needed to take him down.
It's quite possible. But
I'm putting my money on that. I think Robin, Nightwing, probably more possible, but the one that would make the most sense would be Bizarro. Lex Luthor, still pissed with Superman for whatever reason, gets his DNA, makes Bizarro, everything goes wrong, and then Justice League have to come in and sort him out. That's my prediction.
It does make sense.
That's, for me now, cutting out all the backstories and just putting Bizarro in there would make this entire film now make sense. Everything else, it wouldn't need it. If you put Deathstroke in there, brilliant character, absolutely love Deathstroke, wouldn't need all the Justice League to take him out.
No.
At all. Superman, bang, gone. Any of the other Batman characters, except for Doomsday, but Doomsday...
It's more Superman.
That again, he is, yeah, but then you wouldn't need Lex there, because he's so powerful, he would wipe everything out. You just wouldn't need Lex there, that would just be more backstory to worry about.
Taking out the likes of, I suppose to a degree, Bane, and Solomon Grundy and stuff, all the Batman rogues, Batman can take out without much hassle. I mean, he can take Bane out and he can take Solomon Grundy out, but in a straight up fight, they will both kill him. But Superman, is flick, dead.
Yeah.
Say goodbye, Dad.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, yes.